Wild Boar became an adopted son for the lonely old man who saved his life. When a lonely old man rescued an injured wild boar, he never imagined the bond that would form between them. What began as an act of kindness turned into an extraordinary friendship, with the boar becoming like an adopted son. This heartwarming story took place a few years ago in South Korea. An elderly man rescued a tiny piglet from certain death and hand-fed it with care. The piglet grew into a massive wild boar, becoming not only a loyal friend but also like an adopted son to his rescuer. In the scenic village of Wonju, surrounded by hills and rice fields, lived the kind-hearted Kim Sun-ho. Grandpa Kim, a widower in his 70s, lived a quiet, solitary life in a modest house on the outskirts of the village, as his children had long moved to big cities in search of better opportunities. Each morning at dawn, he would rise and head into the forest to gather firewood for his hearth, maintaining his simple rural routine. One day, while collecting fallen branches, Grandpa Kim heard a pitiful squeal and followed the sound. In the dense thickets, he discovered a tiny wild piglet tangled in branches and grass. It had clearly been separated from its family and lost in the forest. The heartbreaking sight stirred the old man's compassionate heart. He gently freed the piglet and decided to take it home to nurse it back to health. Thus, a new guest appeared in the small old house, a tiny wild piglet. At first, the piglet cowered in a corner and trembled with fear when anyone tried to touch it, but Grandpa Kim's kindness and care soon helped it gain trust. The old man named him Hong Bucky, which means happiness in Korean. With each passing day, Hong Bucky became more tame and attached to his rescuer. He followed Grandpa everywhere, played in the backyard, and no longer feared being picked up. The piglet grew rapidly, to his owner's delight. As Hong Bucky grew stronger and larger, Grandpa Kim faced his first challenges. The curious piglet explored every corner of the house, knocking over jars and boxes in its quest to investigate. Determined to train his new pet, Grandpa Kim began teaching Hong Bucky commands. To his surprise, the piglet proved to be incredibly smart, quickly learning to sit, lie down, and even bow before meals. With tasty treats as rewards, Hong Bucky became the most obedient pet in the area. As years passed, their bond grew stronger, and the pair became inseparable. The sight of Grandpa Kim with his enormous, obedient boar trotting behind him became a familiar and beloved scene in the village. Sometimes, Kim even rode Hong Bucky like a horse. One year, during the harvest festival, Grandpa Kim decided to take a bold step. He brought Hong Bucky to the village square and put on a show. To the delighted exclamations of the crowd, the clever boar demonstrated all his tricks. And when lively music played, Hong Bucky even started dancing, amusingly swaying from side to side. After this performance, news of Grandpa Kim's trained boar spread throughout the country. Reporters and TV crews began visiting him, eager to interview him and capture Hong Buck. His unusual talent. Grandpa Kim proudly showcased Hong Bucky's tricks at the festival, sharing how he patiently trained his remarkable pet. Over time, Hong Bucky grew to gigantic proportions, minus 6.5 feet long and nearly 650 pounds. The massive boar barely fit in the yard, level in the house, but Grandpa Kim never considered parting with his beloved companion. However, Hong Bucky's behavior began to change. The once lively and obedient boar became lethargic, lost his appetite, and stopped responding to commands. Concerned, Grandpa Kim called a veterinarian from the nearest city. After examining the boar, the vet revealed that Hong Bucky was physically healthy but suffering from severe depression caused by loneliness, as boars are highly social animals. They desperately need the company of their kind. Grandpa Kim had no choice but to look for a mate for his beloved pet. The search for a suitable bride for Hong Bucky took several months. Grandpa visited all the farms in the area until he finally found a young, beautiful pig named Kikomi on one of them. The seller assured him that she would be the perfect match for his giant boar. The delighted old man hurried home to prepare everything for Hong Bucky's meeting with his future mate. Grandpa Kim carefully tidied up the entire house and scrubbed the yard clean. He even put a bright festive ribbon around his pet's neck to impress Komi. When the truck arrived with Kikomi, Hong Bucky was initially cautious. He sniffed, grunted, and circled the newcomer, but soon they thoroughly inspected each other and ran around the yard, happily kicking up dust. Grandpa Kim's heart swelled with joy as he watched the touching scene. It was clear that Hong Bucky had found his soulmate. The two quickly bonded, behaving as though they had known each other forever. They playfully nudged each other, rolled on the ground, and ran around the yard, grunting with delight. Grandpa Kim hadn't seen Hong Bucky so lively and happy in a long time. In the days that followed, Grandpa Kim lovingly cared for both pets, feeding them well, cleaning their pen, and enjoying their playful antics. The veterinarian had been right. Having a companion had completely revived Hong Bucky. His appetite returned, and he became obedient and active again. Sometime later, the veterinarian visited and, after examining Kikomi, gave Grandpa Kim wonderful news: his new pet was pregnant. The old man beamed with happiness. He would be not only the most hospitable host to his wild boars, but also the best boar grandfather. The whole village of Wonju buzzed with excitement about Grandpa Kim's growing family. Passers-by frequently peeked into the yard, hoping to catch a glimpse of Kikomi and her growing belly. And the old man visited his pets daily, monitoring the pregnancy's progress. Finally, one sunny April day, Kikomi went into labor. Grandpa Kim and the veterinarian stood by Kikomi for hours as she labored, while Hong Bucky paced nervously nearby. After much effort, the first tiny piglets were born, followed by 8 more, a total of 9 healthy piglets, 5 females and 4 males. It was nothing short of a miracle. The newborns were gently wiped down, wrapped in warm blankets, and placed next to Kikomi, who proudly sniffed each one. Hong Bucky circled them carefully, grunting with pride. The entire village buzzed with excitement, and neighbors came to congratulate Grandpa Kim and admire the piglets. Weeks later, the little ones, now stronger, began exploring their surroundings under the watchful eyes of their parents. The piglets darted around the yard, fearing nothing, for their loving mom, Kikomi, and Dad Hong Bucky were always nearby. Grandpa Kim was overjoyed to see his once lonely pet now with a full family. He happily helped Kikomi watch over the piglets, cherishing each one as his own grandchild. The elderly man decided he couldn't part with all the piglets, so he kept 4 of the little ones and gave the remaining 5 to neighbors in the village. Now, a whole group followed him whenever he left the house. As time went by, the piglets became completely independent. Under their parents' watchful guidance, they learned basic commands and absorbed everything quickly. Sometimes it even seemed that Hong Bucky's offspring had inherited the ability to dance from their famous father. Grandpa Kim became an even more remarkable sight as he strolled through the village. At the front of the procession was his first and most cherished companion, Hong Bucky, followed by Kikomi, surrounded by a lively group of piglets, like a hen with her chicks. This vibrant parade brought joy to the children and charmed the adults. The residents of Wonju had grown fond of Grandpa Kim's constant entourage, finding delight in the heartwarming spectacle. Every child dreamed of having their own wild animal friend someday. This unique family brought warmth and joy to the quiet village, filling its days with kindness and love. Grandpa Kim felt deeply grateful for the day he decided to take in Hong Bucky. His once lonely old age was now filled with happiness, surrounded by loyal companions and kindred spirits. The once wild boar found a safe home, a loving family, and most importantly, true happiness. This heartwarming tale of selfless kindness and unwavering friendship shows that the strongest bonds can form between the most unlikely beings. It reminds us that treating others with care and compassion often brings rewards beyond our wildest dreams. For Grandpa Kim and his beloved boar family, this became their guiding motto. What an incredible story! If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please leave a comment below. See you in the next video.